I mean, we've talked about this, that often I date younger men. And a lot of it is because...
Let's stop on that, folks.
Oh my God, we had a great dinner. We had a great dinner, by the way, where across the table, your husband goes, but why? And I said, well, maybe because I can.
Yes. This is what I'm saying. Tales from Tracee's.
It's fun. It's very fun to share.
Tracee tale.
But
you date a younger woman.
But one of the reasons, though, that because I had to ask myself that question, I was like, what is this about?
Yeah.
Because I want a partner. And so often, and it's not just that I'm older, I'm also very embodied. I am a full, very whole person who knows myself, who is in charge of my life, and who lives a very full, just robust life. So it's not just age, it's like life experience and sort of a difference. But I had to ask myself the question, why? Why does this keep sort of coming up other than they're hot and gorgeous?
There's that.
There's that. But a lot of men my age are steeped in a toxic masculinity and have been raised in a culture where there is a particular way that a relationship looks. And anything that starts to smell of that for me, I did enough of it where I was controlled and felt like I was a possession or whatever those things were, or prize and I have no interest in it, and I will not do it again.
Now, for those of you who don't know, that was Tracee Ellis Ross. That is Diana Ross's daughter. This woman has been an actress on Girlfriends, if you don't know, as well as Blackish, I think some other things. Remember Lyricist Lounge back in the day? She was on there. So Tracee Ellis, unlike a lot of other women, was born a millionaire, right? She's born into a wealthy family, mother, super famous. She pretty much has gotten everything that she wanted. So she is living a different lifestyle. She's 52 years old, if I didn't already say that. And here she is sitting down with Michelle Obama and her brother, who I believe started a podcast, if I'm not mistaken, right there. And they're talking about her life and how she regrets not having kids, so on and so forth. So the woman such as her is already born with a silver spoon. She's entitled, used to things going her way, used to men doing certain things, and may have had to try to prove herself, and may have just slept around in Hollywood and was industry buns for a while. I'm just assuming, right? And I'm not shocked that she's saying this, that she prefers to date young men, because older dudes are like, okay, baby, what are we doing besides having fun, right? I'm this way. I don't have to go above and beyond. Yeah, you're Tracee Ellis Ross, but a lot of women like this, they always say, I'm been the victim. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. I prefer to date younger men, because that's still where their mentality is. My ex, she liked dating guys younger than her. What I mean by that is guys that are 10 years younger than her, because that's the mindset. Guys that are your age in their 50s, if they're going to deal with you, they expect certain things. They don't expect lip. They don't expect a woman to be jaded and ran through the industry and all this stuff like that. They want to deal with younger women as well. Outside of, they can't have kids with you. So it's kind of a lose-lose. So, baby, you coming to me, I'm dealing with you as a 50-something-year-old, and you still making demands and all this other stuff? Baby, you've already lived your life. So I shouldn't be having any issues. And she's saying it's toxic. Anything that doesn't go along or submit to you as a woman is considered toxic masculinity. These women now, 40s and 50s, are stuck in their ways. Dudes just don't want to deal with it. TK Kirkland was talking about this. And women are just like, well, I deserve to have this. I deserve to have that. Baby, everything is sagging. No life can come out of the situation. You don't want to do anything really for a man. You still feel like you're a hot girl, and by sleeping with a younger man. And I always say this with older women, when you're dealing with younger men, you're the one that's coming out of the pocket. These dudes is like, I'm losing by dealing with you. I mean, I know you're a celebrity, but I can use you. Hey, you got to pay or give me some connections by being with you. There's really nothing to come out of that. But these women that have already hit the wall, it's just crazy, man. I don't understand how they still have this mindset. And when you have people sitting across from you, like Michelle, and they're just like, yeah, you're right, Tracee. You're right. These days, you were right all along. You didn't, I've done enough of dudes using me and blah, blah, blah. I like to date gorgeous, hot men. So that's how my life should be. You got the money to command it, so be it. Even if you didn't have the money, baby. You can sleep with younger dudes, but I can't see myself as a much younger man. And I don't know what she means by younger. Could be 10 years. Could be dudes my age. 42 dealing with a woman that's 52. But I don't see myself doing all these things for you when I could get a much younger woman who hasn't been jaded, indoctrinated with things like, you got women making videos, oh, he just wants to use her and all this stuff like that, and he just wants to take advantage of these younger girls. No, because they haven't made it to the point where you can't deal with them. But I got another clip, guys. Let's get into this one right here. Let's go.
Women over 35 have hit the wall. This is true and untrue at the same time, and let me explain why I say this, okay? For my professional expertise, I have worked with hundreds of women, and I have worked with a lot of women over the age of 35. Now, there's a group of those women who have absolutely no issues with dating, no issues with encountering men who want to be with them, who want to commit to them, who want to be serious about them. Then you have another group of women who have a very difficult time with those exact same things. Now, I want y'all to remember that. The thing that young women have on their side is youth. So women in their early 20s, mid 20s, you know what I'm saying? Even like this 20s period, but especially like the early and mid. They are young. They're supple, right? They're impressionable, right? They don't have certain baggage that older women have. And because of their youth, and especially because they're attractive, they don't have to be so smart. Right? They don't have to have, certain levels of integrity. They don't have to have a high standard of character because they have youth on their side. And all of us as women have gone through this process of having youth on our side. So if you were to put a woman who is 25 in the same room as a woman who is 35, and these women have a lot of the same things, so maybe the same height, same weight, same physical appearance, so on and so forth. And both of those women have bad character, bad personality. Both of those women are not easy to be with. If a man had to choose, like, hey, I have to choose a woman, he's likely going to choose the younger one. However, let's go back to what I was talking about initially, where I said there are two categories of women over 35. One that has absolutely no issues with men. Men will still marry them. Men still want to be with them. And the ones who a man would not spit on them if they were on fire. The reason for that is they have bad character. They have a bad personality. They don't have the wisdom. They don't have the intellect. They don't have the things that they should have at their age. They make life hard, not just for themselves, but the people around them. Then we want to add the fact that they are out of their prime. They're out of the typical baby making ages. So yes, women in that category have hit the wall. But the women in the category who know themselves, who take care of themselves, who don't have bad character, who's a pleasure to be around, who don't take nobody's shit, but also is respectful, those women over 35 will never have a problem. Men will still gravitate towards them because a man over 35, if he's a high caliber man, he typically doesn't want a younger woman because she does not have the wisdom, she does not have the life experience or the conversation that would even excite him, that is even something he'd be interested in. So ladies, if you're over 35 and you don't want to hit the wall, be a better person. Stay safe.
Well, baby, if you don't want to hit the wall, as if a woman has a choice over 35. Some people say even at 30, she's hitting the wall, right? But she sets a lot of important things that men really look at. You're not a pleasant person a lot of times. You have attitude. Women just in general, but as you get older, you would think you would become nicer, more cooperative, more understanding. But women just get bitter and worse. And who wants to deal with that? Who wants to hear, especially if you already have kids, complaining about your kids all the time? Yada, yada, yada. I got health problems. I got health issues. And what if you got to wake up to that all the time? Nobody wants to deal with that BS, man. Nobody wants to hear that foolishness. That is crazy to me. Imagine that. If you don't want to hit the wall, you're going to hit the wall. And the advice that she's giving you would think is common sense, right? Just be a better person. Women automatically are born thinking that they're a better person. I'm good. I'm a princess. I don't do anything wrong. And women have, for the most part, women have the worst type of character. Women have terrible character. It's only a few select who actually have empathy, compassion, who are caring, who are understanding. Most of them don't. They have terrible character. They're just users a lot of times, man. And it doesn't get better with age. You would think it would. But guys, let me know what you guys think. Comment below. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. Much blessings and abundance. Stick around for the next videos. It's going to pop up on the screen below. That's where I'm going to see you guys at. It's your favorite everything. This is Wisdom. I'm the best. Let's run it up to 1 million. Quit playing with me. Peace.